Hello, Deli Alley Wave. Episode 24 of Lift More, Lose More, we think. We're not checked.
Yeah, not sure.
I've got a jumper on and a coffee because it's freezing. Scott was going to come up here topless because he's hard.
Yeah.
But today we're going to talk about meal plans and why they're utter bullshit. I wrote a blog about it a while ago. Scott said I ran about it before. So if you want some points you want to get across, I'll let you go first and then I'll swear.
Basically, there was a post on Facebook about, well, it wasn't even to do with meal plans, but it turned into a bit of a meal plan post, and the comments were ridiculous. I lost a bit of hair just reading it, but
Careful now.
yeah, it's a bit left. But I don't know whether it's people are just used to getting meal plans off the internet or whatever it is, but we'll have people coming to us thinking they need a meal plan, when to be honest, it's the last thing you need. What is the point? It's just a list of meals that may or may not include foods you enjoy, but it's pointless. So you're going to have Monday to Sunday, meal 1, meal 2, meal 3. And it's going to be chicken and broccoli or something equally as bland. No doubt it'll have a banned food list. Why? But say on Tuesday lunchtime, it says you're to eat a chicken salad, but you haven't got chicken salad there. What do? Do you just skip the meal? Or do you replace it with nothing? Or do you start panicking because you replace a chicken salad with salmon when it doesn't really matter, but you've gone against your meal plan now and you think you've failed? And then what do you do when the weekend comes around, when you want to spend time with family? So the family come round on a Saturday evening and you're having, I don't know.
Yeah, chicken and broccoli.
Chicken and broccoli.
Pretty standard.
Yeah. So your family is sat there having a takeaway or whatever it is, but you're eating chicken and broccoli because that's on your plan. It's bullshit. I think I've said my piece.
Yeah. Well, sums it up well. This stuff we're trying to achieve with clients when we take on new clients who want to lose weight or gain weight or whatever. And one of the big things we're trying to achieve is education, independence, and the fact that you can make your own decisions and live a healthy, lean lifestyle without us having to tell you every meal you've got to eat. Anyone can write you a meal plan for 1,000 calories a day, starve you completely, and then if you don't stick to it, say, well, it's because you didn't stick to it, that's why you failed. That's easy. I could write you 1,000 meal plans that would be just starve you, and everyone would get the same one, no matter what their body weight was, their activity weight, their activity levels are, and it's not personalised at all. Together you could possibly build a meal plan around what people like to eat, but if you do it together, you teach people why you're putting certain foods in certain places and why chicken isn't necessarily the key, but we're after a protein source. And you can learn then and educate yourself. When you go out, you can make a decision and go, right, I'm after a protein source with a salad on the side. Whereas if we just say chicken salad and there isn't chicken salad available, you panic. People overly rely on these stupid plans that are just going to make you starve yourself, instead of learning about nutrition and learning how to be completely independent when you need to make decisions, because life isn't straightforward. You're not going to be able to sit and eat all your meals out of Tupperware boxes, and to be honest, you're not professional bodybuilders. If you're competing for the Mr. Olympia, then yeah, you're going to eat your food out of a Tupperware box when everyone else is having a takeaway. That's gonna happen. It's going to be your life. But if you just want to learn how to lose weight and live a healthy lifestyle, you don't need to be taking chicken and broccoli to parties. No one's going to do it. It's ridiculous to even think people would. And it leads to utter resentment of your diet. And the last thing we want you to do is resent eating well. We want you to eat well consistently, not just while you're on a diet, but for the rest of your life, eat well and live a better lifestyle with more control over your food, and that's what we all aim for.
There's laziness on both parts. It's laziness from the coach handing it out because it's easy money, to just copy and paste the same meals onto the same plan for every single client. And when that client comes to them and says, oh, I fancy this, or I fancy that, or I'm struggling here, their only response is, as Pete said earlier, stick to the plan. Just stick to the plan. And that's all the responses every single time. And when you can't stick to the plan, they just accuse you of not wanting it enough. When the reality is, you're bound to fail from the very start. There's also a bit of laziness from the client. Oh, I just need a plan to follow, or that's what they think they need. I've had it a few times where I've refused to do it, and I've cracked, and I said, right, here's a plan. And they've still been too lazy to follow the plan I've even given to them. So they've not even gone shopping to buy the foods I've set out. So that's all it boils down to. Coaches that are handing these out, one, they don't know any better. So all they know is meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, meal 4, so on. That's all they know. That's the extent of their nutritional knowledge. They're then too lazy to adapt it for each client, and then when the client comes with a problem, they're too lazy or too thick to sort that problem out. So if someone comes to me or Pete and says, I have a night out at the weekend, or we're going out, or whatever it is, or I fancy this, we'll say, right, this is what you need to do to eat this. You can have it. All you're doing is replacing X, Y, and Z with that, and we just need to make it match. Go away and do that. And as long as they do that and don't go completely off the rails, then it will work. And I suppose that's where good coaching comes into it. And the other bit is where dog shit coaching comes into it, or lazy coaching.
There's room for things you enjoy in a diet. And the meal plan just takes all that away. Like, I don't know the foods you like to eat. So if I just tell you to eat the same foods 3-4 times a day,
well, you'll stop liking it.
You're going to stop liking it, even if it's the food you love, and we can fit it in. If you really love chicken, then after 2 weeks you won't still love chicken, because you'll be sick to the back teeth of it, of just eating chicken and plain chicken, because no one's allowed a sauce or a condiment. I've seen some where you're not allowed salt and pepper, and you're not. It's nonsense. Like, you've just got to learn, spend the time at the beginning learning and educating yourself about nutrition and about why these meal plans work. So if you look at a meal plan and go, oh, it's chicken, rice and broccoli. Yeah, that's a protein source, carbohydrates and fibres and things. And that's, so if we can replace those with other things that we like, you can have variety in your meal straight away. Yeah, we'll put a lot of vegetables in, but if it's some vegetables you don't like broccoli, it's not essential that it's broccoli. Some people don't like broccoli, I don't know who, because that's weird, but some people don't like broccoli. And you'll keep forcing these foods on people, and yeah, they'll weigh themselves after a week and they'll lost 4 pounds, 5 pounds. Oh great, I'm going to have a cheat meal because I can't stick to this anymore. And then that 4 pounds goes back on. And then they go, oh well, the only way I know how to diet is to do this really restrictive week. So I'll do my really restrictive week again and lose the weight. Then I don't know how to stick to this any longer, so I'll put the weight back on. Because you don't really understand what you're doing. You're just cutting foods out and eating. There's no magical thing about eating these meal plans that makes you lose weight. They're just calories and macros and just formed into a plan that you could do yourself. You could work a plan that you like to eat and plan your own food around foods you enjoy and learn how to do it, rather than rely on just a bit of paper that says eggs for breakfast, chicken and broccoli for lunch, chicken and broccoli for tea, broccoli for supper. With chicken.
With a side of broccoli.
And some broccoli.
So, yeah, it's why one of the main things I concentrate on people is a basic meal structure. Protein source, veg, carbs. That can be whatever you want it to be. Okay, if you have a lean protein source like chicken, then if you swap that chicken with a fattier source like pork, there will be a slight calorie difference. But for the people we're dealing with, it's not something you really need to worry about. Alright, if you're not losing weight, then we can look at the food diary and then make changes. But all you need to be aware of is you can change that bit of chicken for some salmon, or a bit of pork, or turkey, or whatever it is. You can change your broccoli for spinach, or whatever vegetables you like. Obviously, ideally, it'll be a mixture of certain veg. And then as long as you know, depending on your calorie intake, you might not be having carbs in every single meal. Most probably can't. But if you know you can swap your rice for potato, or your potato for sweet potato. By the way, sweet potato isn't necessarily better than white potato.
It's just potato.
Potatoes. But yeah, if you're aware that you can change your rice for pasta, or your potatoes for pasta, or whatever, it just gives you that freedom every time you sit down in front of a meal or plan a meal to have what you want, rather than panicking because you've not got a chicken breast in front of you, or it's not the right kind of rice. Sort of the whole post that kicked this off was someone just pointing out that Cocoa Pops and sweet potato, by the time they're all broken down and utilised by the body, are the same thing. They get broken down to the same glucose components, which is where the whole meal plan came in, because they started arguing over something. But then someone went, oh, well, you can't just eat 2,000 calories of pizza and lose weight. Well, you can. Alright, it's not ideal and you'll probably look like a bag of shit at the end of it, but it wasn't the point of the whole post originally. It was when that gets broken down and that gets broken down to their glucose components, they are the same thing. Pizza's covered in cheese and pepperoni anyway, so it's mostly fat. So, I don't know, that's what started this off anyway. Idiots on the internet.
The internet's full of them. Absolute full of idiots. So
Got
is
two here.
So is the gym. Yeah, I mean, we keep adding to it. We just keep upping the amount of idiots online. But we're trying to fight the good fight and give you good information. Your body doesn't understand the difference between carbohydrates once they're broken down. Like, they're just all broken down into the same thing and you just feel just exactly the same. If you want to have chicken and Cocoa Pops, you you go for it. I think that's what Scott's getting at.
Yeah.
Salmon and Cocoa Pops for lunch instead of chicken and sweet potato.
Perfect.
Wouldn't actually make that much difference once it's in your body. Would taste weird though. Meal plans covered.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, we don't
Well
like
done.
them. If you're still watching this after God knows why. My ski marathon is going to be next week. So sponsor me, and it's been nice knowing you all. I'm about to go and do another half marathon. I hate it, hate my life. My hands are killing, my back hurts, my calves hurt, and I'm pretty tired. But it's all for a good cause. I hope people sponsor me and make it for a good cause. And next week I'll be a shadow of my former self. You know, 'cause I'm such a fine young man at the moment.
Shall we make that the next episode?
Yeah, next week
I'll stand
I'll
and
discuss how to train for a marathon within 1 month and not cry. Not cried so far. Right, episode 24 done. Episode 25 will be about my marathon. Have a good week.
Bye bye.